Hello and welcome to Complete with DLC, the only show opening a publishing firm. I'm one of your hosts, Brad Knight, and sitting across from me is the OJ drinker, Jacob Griffin. Jacob, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. I'm drinking my OJ. It's a beautiful day outside.
It
Ready
is
to talk about
outside.
some video games indoors, though, so let's do it.
Yeah, it's what we do. When it's nice outside, we stay inside.
Yeah. What do I look to you? An outdoorsman?
Yeah. So the way we decided to do the show from now on, the new format is going to be we're going to do 2 shows a week. We're going to record on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're going to release, hopefully, on Wednesdays and Fridays. And each show is going to be a little bit shorter than what we usually do. We're aiming for like 35, 45 minutes, as opposed to the hour we were doing before. But the idea is that, you know, we keep the show a little more fresh, a little more spontaneous by doing different things in each show. And we're putting out more content for you guys. So that was the general idea as to why we did the change.
And inspired by the new film, Captain America Civil War, in theaters May 6th. That's right, we're sponsored. No, I'm just kidding. We've taken over each half of the show. So today's episode is ran by Brad. The first episode of the week is run by Brad. I run the end of the week show. So you may notice that one's a little more fun and lively. All just to find out who in the end is everyone's favorite host, so that way we can all resent each other behind the scenes.
Exactly. It's going to be this huge drama. You know, it's going to be a blowout on episode 100. It's going to be a huge deal.
We're going to get invited onto Drama Alert with Keemstar. It's going to be a Skype battle between us. It's going to be a great time.
I can't wait.
But now,
I think now we can get into what we're playing. All right, Jacob, so what have you been playing this week?
The main thing that I've been playing this week has been the Doom beta.
Ooh.
I know, it's pretty exciting. I like it a lot. Let me tell you something. I always went into this game saying that I'd be more excited for the single player, which I still obviously am. But I think the multiplayer is kind of fun, and, you know, it could be a fun distraction for a weekend.
Yeah, you're kind of in the minority in that opinion, though. I was reading a lot of negative reviews. Like, people on Steam were rolling this thing. They did not like it at all.
I do have a couple issues with it, though. And the main issue that I really have that seems to keep coming up between a lot of people that I see online really, like, bagging it, is that, like, I think some of the guns that should be powerful don't feel powerful. Like, especially the super shotgun. Like, you use the super shotgun, and, like, you have to kill someone in 2 hits with it, even if you're, like, an inch away from them. And I don't like that at all. Same thing with the RPG, which in RPG, you should just take someone out in 1 shot.
Yeah, well, actually, the only gun, when I played it, the only gun I ever saw was the super shotgun, because every other gun, in my opinion, kind of sucked.
Yeah, that too. All the, like, the plasma rifle and the heavy, it's like a heavy something rifle. Those are all pretty terrible, honestly.
I never got to use the last 2 guns, the ones you had to unlock. I never played that much.
Yeah, I didn't get that far either. I got to, like, level 5 or something like that. Because, I mean, I played it, but I played it sparingly.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just, it's fun, but, like, that thing about the shotgun not having a lot of power. Because, like, you see it in the single player, and it's, like, a very powerful shotgun. Like, it's ripping people in half. And, like, in the multiplayer, it seems like I gotta get 2 shots off into someone's back in order for them to die. Also, I feel like, too, the characters move so fast that when you're trying to have a gunfight, people are just hopping around like idiots, and you can't find them very easily.
I don't know, it actually felt kind of sluggish to me.
Really?
It didn't feel as fast as I was expecting, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It felt very Halo 1-ish to me. Like, you're sort of hopping along, like, you're not sprinting, because you can't sprint. You can crouch, which is really odd, but you're kind of like hopping along at a mediocre speed, which is, I think, part of the reason why the rocket was so underwhelming, because you can't dodge it going at that speed. Mm-hmm. You're going to get hit by it every time, so they can't make it overpowered, otherwise you're going to die to it immediately because you can't get out of the way.
But even then, if you get hit once with it, you're pretty much guaranteed to get hit the second time with it. So you're going to die anyway. There's really no point to not being able to sprint, but it felt very much to me like, even though your character runs at a faster speed than the normal walking speed of a character in an SPS, it reminded me a lot of Advanced Warfare in a lot of ways, especially with, like, the jetpack backpack you have.
Yeah.
And it's not like a regular jetpack, kind of like in the ones that are in, like, Halo 4 and stuff, and I don't know if they're in 5 because I haven't played 5 yet. But They didn't feel like that. They definitely felt like the exosuits from Advanced Warfare, which I kind of liked. I mean, was alright.
What did you think of the big demon you could turn into?
I only did it once of all the matches that I played, and I liked being the big demon. I felt very overpowered, which I liked a lot, which is, kind of how you want to feel as a demon.
Yeah.
But once again, I think you die too quickly. It's weird, because there's, you have a life bar, and you have a timer that goes with it, too.
Yeah. You have, a minute in that form, I think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's about a minute, and then you have a health bar, so people can kill you before that. I feel like it needs to be one or the other. Either
don't have both.
Either you're invincible for a minute or 30 seconds, and then you just murder a bunch of people, have it be a kill streak, or you just have the life bar, and then you can die in however long you can stay as the demon. You know what I mean?
I would say between the two, I'd rather have the health bar, because that way, make them tanky as anything. But at least that way, if the enemy team sees you there, they can try to gang up on you and kill you before you can wipe their team.
Yeah.
That way there's still some level of interaction there, because I feel like, as it was now, even though I had the health bar, I never died. I always ran out that minute because I was broken as anything.
I mean, I don't know. It's a wait and see approach. Maybe they'll take actually some of our feedback and change it. I doubt it, because the game comes out in May, but
yeah, not a lot of time. But I mean, a lot of the changes are mostly just number tweaks, right? So damages to weapons, player speeds, things that aren't very hard to change.
Yeah, I mean, the player speed stuff could screw with the frame rate a little bit, but I'm sure they could figure out a fix for that in the time.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're all just waiting for the single player, right?
Yeah, that's all I really care about with this game. Also, I have a practice in games where I just turn the brightness up all the way. With Doom, it didn't really work, because that game just, is too bright when you turn the brightness up all the way.
Oh, absolutely. I got this, matte fuchsia armor.
Yeah.
It was the brightest thing in the world. I was just...
it looks dumb, honestly, when the brightness is up all the way. And I do that in games most of the time, because I'm never going to complain that a game is too bright, you know what I mean? I'll complain if a game is too dark during a sequence.
Yeah, I'm paranoid that, especially in, RPGs and exploration games, that I'm going to miss something. So I crank the brightness all the way up to make sure I can see into every single dark nook and cranny so I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
It sort of ruins the, horror suspense thing, but,
I think that's the only game where I don't screw with the only kind of games where I don't screw with the brightnesses in horror games.
Oh, no, absolutely. They go the highest.
Because I'm this is where the developer intended me to be frightened. I'll leave it here.
Yep, and even with high brightness, I still scream like a small child. I hate those games.
But other than that, that's all I pretty much played this weekend. I played GTA for a little bit for a secret project I'm working on, but...
Really? No Division? Didn't they just have a thing come out?
Nobody's playing The Division anymore, so...
Yeah, what happened with that? I've been hearing that everybody just sort of gave up on it.
I think the problem is that everyone with that game did what a person I would listen to on the internet called... his name's Colin Moriarty. He was on Kind of Funny and Kind of Funny Games. He says you shouldn't be up a game's ass. And I think everyone was just up that game's ass when it came out and just played it nonstop, so everyone got bored with it because they did everything that you can do.
It's sort of a double-edged sword, right? You have a lot of hype behind your game, you're going to sell a lot, but if you have a lot of hype behind your game, people are going to burn themselves out.
It's kind of what happened with Siege with me. I really like Siege a lot, but I played that game way too much, and then I got bored.
You played that game nonstop when it came out?
It was 5 weeks of me just being I played Siege last night.
Yeah.
But
that's it?
Yeah, pretty much. I pretty much just played the Doom beta and some GTA here and there. What about you? Did you play anything other than the Doom beta?
I did. I played another beta, actually, and it was the Overwatch beta.
Oh, you actually got in?
Yeah, they had their last closed beta weekend last week. And I think there's going to be an open one in early May. So if you are looking to play this and you didn't get in this time, it will be completely open in the early May one, right before the game comes out. So, yeah, I did get in, and oh my god.
It's good?
That game is TF2 on speed.
Really?
It is. I've never played a faster-paced game.
Really?
I've played a lot of games in my life, and this game is ridiculous in how fast-paced it is. I feel like I need to do cocaine just to keep up what's going on the screen.
I want to see, when that game comes out, just someone with, it's a keyboard and mouse just covered in coke.
If this game, they've been pushing esports in this game pretty hard. Blizzard wants to have another competitive esport besides Hearthstone and Heroes.
Right.
If this becomes an esport, you're gonna see some drug problems in the pro scene because I can't keep up. Certain heroes, especially, are champions. I don't know what they call them in Overwatch. I wasn't really listening. I think they're heroes. I don't know.
Someone's getting their car robbed in the background.
I'm so. Can you hear that? I apologize.
Like very faintly, but someone's getting their car like robbed or something.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know what that is. I hear alarms all the time. But I lost my train of thought. Diva was the one I played a lot of, and essentially Diva is this little peppy chick who hops in this giant mech suit, and she has the two forms. She can either be in the mech suit or out of the mech suit. And if you're in the mech suit and you charge up your ultimate, which you get by shooting enemies, the more you shoot, the more it charges. When it gets full, you can jump out of the mech suit and it blows up for a huge amount of damage. Huh. And it's very similar to not to a MOBA, but I guess the best comparison I can make is Team Fortress 2, where every player has 3 or 4 different abilities that they can use specific to their class. So hers are, she can jetpack around at the speed of goddamn sound. She throws up a little force field, and then she can blow up her thing as an ultimate, and then she can summon a new one if she's already out. Because she's useless outside of the suit, so. But it's a bunch of fun, but I warn you, if you are lacking in coordination, if you don't like fast-paced games, or if you aren't even really a big fan of Team Fortress, this is not the game for you, because it is everything on that turned up to 11. It is a lot more diverse than Team Fortress, it's a lot faster, but it's the same core gameplay.
I'm going to try it out if they do that open beta.
Yeah, the game's coming out pretty soon, I want to say. 4 weeks? 3-4 weeks, give or take. Yeah. There's going to be an open beta, and then it's going to come out, and they're selling 2 different versions of it. The base game is $40, and then they're selling a $60 version with a bunch of added-on extra skins and stuff, because they have the whole, the TF2 version of hats.
Right.
So it's different skins. They have what's called loot boxes. As you level up, you earn a loot box, and you can open it up, and you get different things. You get different sprays, different dialogue lines for certain characters, and mostly a bunch of cosmetic stuff. But it was a lot of fun, honestly. I had a blast with it. I don't know if my brain is hardwired enough to be able to keep up with it, but I'm gonna have to train myself to try to do it. I see myself losing a lot of time in that game in the future.
That's cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed it a lot in your open beta, because I remember you talking about that game a lot and not being upset that you weren't invited to the betas.
I was incredibly upset. I've been in every Blizzard beta so far, except this one, and I finally got in.
So you have been in every Blizzard beta so far?
Yes, they kept my streak alive by giving me the last possible opportunity.
Thank you, Blizzard.
Yes, thank you, Blizzard.
You're gonna get into heaven.
But, yeah, other than that, I'm still hooked on Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I have a problem.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you're on...
But I did what I do with every series that I've ever played. If I start with not the first game, I eventually stop playing and go back to the first game, so now I'm playing Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, you did that with The Witcher, which is really weird.
Yep.
Because you did it in like a cycle, though, because you started playing Witcher 3 and you were like, well, I want to know what happened in Witcher 2, and then you went back and played Witcher 2 and you're like, well, now I want to know what happened in Witcher 1. I remember you telling me this, and I was like, you're a psycho.
Yeah, it happens with every game that has an interesting story or lore behind it. And it's always the same amount of time. I always get about 5 to 10 hours into the game and realize I want to know what happened before this, and then I jump back. And then I get 5 to 10 hours in, and then I jump back. At least this time I only had one game to jump. I went from Dark Souls 2 to Dark Souls 1, so...
Good job. You can play it backwards compatible on Xbox One.
I can, if I had it on Xbox One, or if I had it on 360.
You should have got it. It was a free Games with Gold.
Was it?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know why I don't have it then.
Well, I mean, do you download every Games with Gold?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm mad. I missed Dead Space this month.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. I grabbed Saints Row 4 even though I have it on Xbox One, so there's no reason for me to get it.
I have to get Sunset Overdrive.
Oh,
forgot about that.
Yeah, everybody's been playing that recently too. I haven't started playing that with them, but they've all been playing the multiplayer mode, which I never played in it. They say it's fun.
I'll probably talk about that one on Thursday, I guess.
Oh yeah, well, we'll see that on Thursday.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's about all I'm playing, so I think it's time we get into the news. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, let's get into that news.
Alright, welcome to the news. And here we have a bunch of stories that make me upset inside.
That's great. I'm really glad that it makes you upset inside.
They all do. Every single one of these stories makes me upset inside,
As
except for one.
As terrible of a person as that makes me sound, it makes me very happy.
You get pleasure out of my, and every time I lose a bit of my soul to these stories. Alright, I'm gonna start with the story that doesn't make me sad.
Okay.
So, the Castlevania developer, MercurySteam, has revealed a new game called Raiders of the Broken Planet. And it looks kind of cool, actually.
Right.
There's the picture I saw was a big mech octopus thing. It was kind of weird, actually. But anyway. Yeah, so the Castlevania Lords of Shadow series working on the title Raiders of the Broken Planet. It's a Spanish studio. I didn't know that. And the game's going to be an online multiplayer asymmetric adventure. Which, I can't think of another game like that, actually. So the game supposedly blends shooting, brawling, and thinking man's strategy. They said in a release and promises immersive cinematic story coupled with intense and epic action. And they gave us a small excerpt to set up the game's narrative. That excerpt is here. In the Lyra constellation, light years from Earth, lies a broken planet. Long ago, its inhabitants discovered a powerful ability-enhancing substance called Alpha. Elf? I'm going Elf. Today, this broken planet...
Brad, I'm just going to cut you off there. I'm going to take a call. Continue reading the story, though.
Okay. Sounds good. Today, this broken planet is home to the entire universe's intergalactic scum and criminal lowlife, all here to wrest control of the Elf and thereby control the universe. So it's very ultimatum-y. That's our first game. You're already fighting for control of the universe. That's some pretty high stakes. So David Cox, the guy who served as producer on the Castlevania series, is now working with MercurySteam on the new project. He's moved with them, and the developer plans to self-publish the game, so there's not going to be any publisher involvement, which is maybe good, maybe bad, I don't know. Publishers have a tendency to really impact the final product of a game, so they could be possibly wanting to avoid that. More on publishers in a minute, actually. But Raiders of the Broken Planet is coming to PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One later this year. And they're currently doing a beta test for the PC version, or they're accepting applications to join the PC version beta test. So if you want to do that, I can give you guys a link in the description of the episode below. Maybe you can check that out and see what's up. But speaking of publishers, Gamestop has signed a bunch of developers, and they're opening a publishing division. That's right, Gamestop is now publishing games. They're not just a brick-and-mortar selling studio anymore. So, GameStop has teamed up with Insomniac Games, Ready at Dawn Studios, Frozen Byte, and Tequila Works. Those are the guys that made the Order 1886, the Spyro series, the Trine series, so some pretty big names there. And the new publishing label is called Game Trust, which arguably is the most ironic name ever because I don't trust them at all.
Why don't you trust them?
Because I'll give my opinion on this at the end of the story.
Right.
So they're working together to bring this game, Song of the Deep. I don't know much about it, but Insomniac makes some good titles, so I'm sure it'll be great. And they're going to, I'm sure, make some interesting things, because GameStop is calling the new venture non-traditional game publishing. So I don't know exactly what that entails, because they haven't said too much. But GameStop says through Game Trust it will work with independent developers to help people discover new games, thanks to the company's expertise and retail presence. GameStop has more than 62,000 stores, so they're trying to...
6,200.
What did I say?
62,000.
Oh, jeez. I'm losing my mind today. I think I'm stroking out. Oh, God. Sorry. So they gave out a statement shortly after this, and they said Game Trust will revolutionize the game development and distribution process by offering a new way for independent developers to create and introduce their own IP to a broad gaming audience, and for gamers to discover and enjoy exclusive new video game experiences. So GameStop says Game Trust is not part of the creative making process. Instead, GameStop will focus its effort on investing in exclusive real estate within its online and physical stores to offer gamers access to new games available across multiple platforms, including digital, physical console, PC, and VR. What's your opinion on GameStop now going into games publishing?
This is 100% just because we're moving towards a digital future, and they're not going to have a way to make any money in that digital future.
Yeah,
That's my opinion, at least.
Unfortunately, brick and mortar stores are struggling right now, and I can see why they're worried. So they're trying to come up with a new way for income. But do you think this is a good thing for the industry or a bad thing for the industry?
I mean, I guess it's a good thing. Like, it's going to get, from what they're saying, they really want to help out indie developers and stuff, so it could get more cool indie games made, actually. You know what I mean?
It's possible.
So, it could very well be a good thing, but as it stands now, I'm very skeptical of it, mainly because I see this as just a way for GameStop to make money in a world where GameStop might not exist in the next couple of years.
The only thing I'm glad that they're helping out, some developers, and the fact that they are, they said that they're going to stay out of the creative process, right? So they're not going to touch the game. But what I'm worried is going to happen is, the bonuses that you get for pre-ordering at GameStop or pre-ordering at Best Buy. I have a feeling that these are going to be much more prevalent now that GameStop is publishing these games.
I mean, I'm sure GameStop will get the best pre-order bonus if this even sells anywhere other than GameStop. Like, obviously, it'll probably sell, like, on the PlayStation Store or, like, the Xbox Store, but, like...
Yeah, they'll sell the games as normal. It'll be published by GameStop. I don't think GameStop is going to try to exclusivize these games in any way, because that's, if anything, going to cost them more money than just not having a publishing firm at all.
How would that cost them more money? They would have to make less copies, because then they would just have to make the copies that go to these 6,200 stores instead of sending them to Best Buy and Walmart and...
Well, it's expensive to publish a game, and they have to make the sales worth the return on investment. So if you're exclusivizing to only your stores, you're cutting out a very large market. And like you said yourself, it's the digital age. If you only sell in brick and mortar stores and maybe an online store or two, you're really limiting your audience.
I don't know. I just see this as more of them just being like, we need to find a way to make money. The one thing that I wonder is, how are they ever going to try to figure out to do trade in digital codes for your games? Like, imagine. It's like a freaking trade-in bonus for a digital code for one of their games.
Yeah, I'm confused as to their intentions. It could be just to make money. It could be to help out the industry. It could be trying to do both at the same time.
It's probably... I mean, I'm sure every publisher is trying to do both at the same time. But
yes. As long as it doesn't turn into, even more of those annoying pre-order bonuses.
I mean, I think it can have the annoying pre-order bonuses anyway. Like, even if GameStop didn't get into the publishing game, every company does an annoying pre-order bonus. Like, every Batman game, each store has like 5 different Batman skins that you have to, if you wanted to get every single one of them, like,
you have to buy the game 3 times.
Exactly. On day 1, you'd have to buy the game like 3 times. Like,
I don't know, the Amazon thing has sort of spoiled me at this point. 20% off on any new game. Yeah. If you pre-order it, you can't beat that.
It's true. It's good stuff.
Should have done that with Dark Souls 3.
You should have. You should really think of these things through. You don't think, though.
No. I've stroked too many times. My brain doesn't have the capacity anymore.
Exactly.
But we'll see. This is like so many of the stories we talk about. This is a wait and see kind of thing. But speaking of wait and see, this story has no more waiting and seeing, because we did wait, we did see, and now we're sad. So this is sort of an old story, but there was a new sort of statement made about it, so I thought we'd bring it up here. We haven't talked about it before, and that is the World of Warcraft private server being shut down. That's Nostralis. I know I'm saying that wrong, but it's the best I can do. And so Nostralis was the largest of the private vanilla servers out there. And I forget the exact numbers, but I believe it was 850,000 people registered with about 150,000 active daily. So it's a very, very large server. And Blizzard has finally shut it down. And this is relatively strange because Blizzard has known about these guys for a while, and most of the time they don't like them, but they turn a blind eye. As long as nobody's making a profit, Blizzard doesn't care, for the most part. They've been shutting down private servers left and right if they make profits, but these guys have made a giant server, all for free, all out of their own time. It's basically a company running this server of volunteers, and people were not happy that this server got shut down. so the reason I'm bringing this up is because they were asked at one of their conferences. I believe it was last year's BlizzCon or the BlizzCon before. No, I think it was last year's BlizzCon. Have you ever considered doing legal, like made by you legacy servers? And they responded with kind of rudely, no. And you think you want that, but you don't. And I'm quoting him there. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is now because the guys who... You know RuneScape, Jacob? Have you heard of that?
Yes, I that was everyone's favorite game at middle school.
Yeah, back in 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
Well, the guys who make RuneScape, Jagex, they came out and talked about legacy servers as sort of a response to this. And they've said that legacy servers are a major part of business, a part of their business, because they've been doing one since 2013.
Right.
And so they came out and said, you know, we when 500,000 of our customers said they wanted to play it, we kind of had to do it. And so they did it for 500,000. Blizzard won't do it for over 1 million, which is sort of saying something about them. But what do you? There's not too much to report on it. As far as we know, there's no plans for Blizzard to actually do it officially. I wanted to get your opinion on this, though. I wanted to bring it up to see what you thought about the idea of legacy servers, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but you played WoW a few expansions ago, correct?
I played WoW up until Lich King kind of happened. And then,
so what would you think of a Lich King only server?
I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool. Like, my thing is with WoW is that they just kept changing it too much to the point where it was like, this doesn't even feel like WoW anymore, so I don't really want to play it anymore.
Yes, that is the problem that everybody's having, which is why these legacy servers are so popular. It's also why the sort of backlash Blizzard got for shutting it down was so strong.
And then I also think, like, I'm the kind of person who really likes the idea of game preservation, where, like, a game is preserved in its purest form, like, even if it's, like, if that's a janky version of it or whatever.
Yeah, it's the way the game was made.
Yeah, and so I like the idea of having, like, you know, being able to say, hey, I really feel like playing, like, vanilla WoW tonight. Like, you know, sure, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of whatever the newest expansion is. I don't even know. I haven't kept up in a long time.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, it's the WoW that I remember and that I really like. And so this whole thing of them shutting out, like, what does it hurt Blizzard that there's a legacy server? You know what I mean? Nobody's making money off of their game at that point. You know what I mean?
I think it's honestly sort of a pride thing, right? So they've spent decades in this game working as hard as they can to improve it. And I think they're seeing this as the player base going, no, we don't want any of your work. We want you to undo everything you did and put it back to the way it was. And I think they've sort of taken offense to that in a way.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't agree with. I mean, if anything, that just tells you that you're sort of moving in the wrong direction, and you should probably listen to your fans. But, you know, I can't speak for them, and I won't try to speak for them, but I don't know. Do you see them eventually caving in and giving a legacy server?
I mean, the backlash is so strong to this that I could see it happening. Like, that's what happens most of the time with, like, game developers or even just, like, you know, people in, like, the entertainment industry in general. If you piss off a group of people and they, you know, come after you, you're eventually going to kind of cave in. It's the same thing that happened when the Xbox One was announced, and they were like, you can't trade your games in, and it's going to be like I forget what else they said to it, but everyone didn't like a lot of stuff about the Xbox. Oh, that it was like a entertainment first, game second kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everyone backlashed against that, and then they were like, well, no, you can trade in your games now. And
sorry.
We're doubling down on games, so that's becoming a thing. Like, you know, I could definitely see Blizzard going back on this, at least allowing legacy servers again. Like, you know, maybe they won't officially endorse it, but, you know, maybe they'll do, like you said, like, turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Rockstar is doing with mods right now with GTA 5. Like, GTA 4, they were, like, all about mods for some reason. And then for some reason when 5 came out, I think it's because of the way they changed up multiplayer. Yeah. Where it was, like, you earned money and you leveled up and stuff, and it wasn't just, like, a regular, you know, free mode multiplayer. So, like, who cares if someone messes with the multiplayer in GTA 4? But if you mess with it in 5, someone could just, like, make themselves, like, an unstoppable god. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they want to sell, like, shark cards and stuff. So, like, that now they're kind of, like... They're not for mods, but they'll turn a blind eye to it unless, like, you try to do something to online, and then they'll ban you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you want to screw around with single player, feel free.
Yeah, so maybe that's what Blizzard will do with this, right? They'll they'll turn a blind eye to the servers until someone's like, hey, you can spend $5 a month to come play on our server, and then it becomes
Yeah,
like
and
a
then they
thing.
go, "Oh, nope, sorry."
Yeah.
I mean, it's what they've done up to this point, and that's why this is sort of such a big shock, because nobody thought they'd shut down this server because it's been up for so long, and it had so many people following it, and it was all completely free, so it was kind of a shock. I think what's gonna determine it is their next expansion is coming out. Legion is coming out in 2016. I want to say in the next 4 months, maybe.
Maybe they're going to time it so that way it comes out with the Warcraft movie.
Possibly, that might be what it is. But I think we talked about it on the show way long ago. But the fact that Blizzard has stopped giving out subscriber numbers in their quarterly reports because they're tired of people talking about how low they're getting.
Right.
I think if their subscriber numbers continue to drop and this expansion doesn't help it, I think they're going to give in and do legacy servers, and they're going to see the same thing that RuneScape saw, and they're going to see a huge influx of players.
Well, I mean, see, here's the thing, right, with that, right, is that their numbers will go up when the expansion comes out. Cause
they always do. Just how
every
long
time.
would they stay up?
No, they'll probably stay up the same amount of time they usually do for an expansion. Like, the people that are dedicated will obviously stay, but, like, the people who just want to come in and play the expansion and then leave, they'll do that anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sort of sad to see the way that Blizzard is acting to the situation. They're my favorite developer. You can call me a fanboy all you like, because I pretty much am.
It's all right. Everyone's a fanboy. I'm a Rockstar fanboy. We're all fanboys
so
here.
It's a little disheartening to see my favorite game developers acting kind of childish. I don't like it. And speaking of things I don't like, I'm gonna get into the next two stories here, and
These
I'm
last
sad.
two stories are my favorite of the week.
I hate them, and I hate everything about them. But I put them in here because I know Jacob is gonna hear me talking about them.
All right.
And,
which one are you gonna start with? Which one's the weirdest to you?
Okay, well, I think you know which one's the weirdest to me, so I'm gonna start with the one that's not the weirdest.
Okay.
So we've been talking about Pokemon a lot on the show, and it's because a lot of weird things are happening with Pokemon.
Right.
And since the 20th anniversary, everybody's lost their damn minds. So there was an article put out, and Japan did a questionnaire of, I believe, 500 people.
Wow, that is not the one that I thought that you would think would be the weirdest.
No, this one's not the weirdest. That's why I'm starting with it.
Oh.
So they did a survey of 500 people in Japan, 50% men, 50% women, between the ages of 20 and 30. And they pulled them to see which Pokemon was the most handsome.
Actually, I messed up in what I was saying. I thought you would think that this is the weirdest.
No, the next one's definitely weirder, but we'll see.
I'll explain why the next one's not weirder, but...
I'd love to hear that explanation.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, they ran this survey for some reason to see which Pokemon out of all 722. Holy shit, there's 722 of these things? My
Yeah.
God.
Things have gotten nuts.
Can we go back to 151? Those are the ones I know.
Yeah.
And so, have you seen the article yet, Jacob?
I'm looking at it right now.
All right, so I was going to ask you if you knew who won, but Mewtwo won.
Oh, I wanted you to read from 20 up.
You want me to read from 20 up?
Well, no, you already spoiled number one.
Yeah, I'll start with, the top. Mewtwo is the winner. He is in Japan, out of 500 people, he's the most handsome of the Pokemon.
He's probably the most human-like looking Pokemon.
He is one of the very, very humanoid ones, and he's also one of the few that are man-made.
Maybe that just gets Japanese people off.
The article goes on to speculate that perhaps it is Mewtwo's horrific backstory that allured them into...
They like bad boys over there?
Because, Mewtwo was created by gene splicing and DNA experiments and all sorts of other horrible things. Alright, so I'm going to go from the bottom of the list up, and I'm going to explain, what these things are for those of you who don't know. I'm not going to go huge into them, but... So, number 20 was Zoroark. And Zoroark is a big weasel-looking thing. It's a black and red weasel. Number 19 is Fearow, which is a giant bird.
Right.
Like a giant vulture-looking thing. Latios is a blue dragon. Blue-winged little cute dragon. I'd say that one's cute, not really handsome. Though Latios is a boy, so that works. Groudon is a giant fire salamander. Rayquaza is a giant dragon, and we're at 16 now. Houndoom is just a dog. See, and now you understand why I think this is weird. They voted a dog 15th most handsome. It's a little weird.
I mean, they don't have a lot to pick from Pokemon, right? It's like mostly based on animals, sometimes garbage. Like,
If you had to pick 20 Pokemon, you can find 20 humanoid-looking Pokemon.
can you though?
You absolutely can.
They're majority animals though, and like
Majority
some that are
animals,
just
yes.
chandeliers or garbage.
Yes. Some of them are chandeliers and garbage. So I'll kind of speed this up a little bit. So Absol's up next. He's another basically dog. Gyarados is, I think you guys know what Gyarados is. He's that giant blue flying dragon.
Right.
Garchomp is, I don't know what that is actually. What's a Garchomp?
Yeah.
Oh, another dragon. I think they have a thing for dragons. Scissors, a giant praying mantis.
Wouldn't it be great if he was a giant pair of scissors?
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. It's going to be his evolved form, just a pair of scissors. After that, number 10, we're getting to the top 10 now, is Machamp. And he's literally just a martial artist, shirtless dude in very small underwear, except he has four arms.
Machamp makes sense to me.
Yes, he's just a human with 4 arms, and he's ridiculously buff. So, alright, that one at least sort of makes sense. Darkrai is a spirit.
Right.
After that, we have Arcanine, another dog. Ninetales, which is a fox.
Mm-hmm.
Scizor.
I think it's Scyther.
Oh, that is Scyther. Scyther is actually the big praying mantis. The Scizor one is a metal praying mantis. Sorry for getting those mixed up.
Right.
I'll speed this up a little more. Suicune, Lucario, Charizard, and Lugia are the last ones. And among those are 2 more dragons, a dog, again, and a weird wolf-human hybrid thing.
They like dogs and...
They like dogs and dragons, is what I'm trying to say here. And this weirds me the hell out.
Why?
Why does this exist?
Of all... it's a weird thing, don't get me wrong, right? It's very odd, but it's not the weirdest thing in the world. Like, a lot of people... A weirder thing would be if, like, they were like, okay, we've picked your most handsome Pokemon, now we're gonna make a Pokemon, like, porn out of this. Like, no, like, that would be weird. Like, just taking a poll?
Well, they did receive some backlash for one of the ones they made. I think it's called Lopunny. And they were accused of making it look like a Playboy bunny model because it's a humanoid female bunny, and it looks just like a really big human bunny. And it looks like a Playboy model. So they were accused of sexualizing their animals. So...
I don't know, then. I really don't know what's going on with the Pokemon Company at this point.
What the hell's going on with these guys? I really want to know. Alright, so the next story, the one that really weirds me out, worse than that one, is now there's a Pokemon lingerie collection.
Not that weird.
It's entirely weird.
It's weird, but it's not that weird.
The picture is people in, Japanese females in Pikachu underwear.
And one has an underwear that's made of Pokeballs, too.
Yes.
Well, not made of Pokeballs, has Pokeballs on. It's like they gutted Pokeballs.
It's literally
and
just a bunch of Pokeballs. And so from the... I'm not going to go too much into this one, but the Japanese brand is called Yummy Mart.
Great name.
Yeah. And the line includes the Pikachu underwear, a Pikachu sleeping mask, what looks like a...
Pikachu robe.
The boxer shorts that Jacob was talking about, the Pokeball ones, a sleeveless shirt, and a big Pikachu robe. And what looks like a Pokeball carrying case.
Why does the tank top that comes with the underwear have like a 25 written on it?
025. Let me check who that is in the Pokedex. Maybe that's... Oh, it's Pikachu.
Oh,
Yeah,
so these are
number
all just
25 is
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
So these are all just Pikachu related.
Yeah. And you know what? I'd be fine with the robe, the sleeping mask, even the tank top, and the little Pokemon carrying case. For some reason, having a bra and panties out of a child's monster weirds me out a little bit.
Let me explain to you why this isn't that weird. Okay.
Okay. I want to hear this explanation.
You ever gone into a little store called Spencer's Gifts?
Never been in, but I've heard tale.
In Spencer's Gifts, they have a section that's mainly like adult toys and lingerie kind of stuff, right? They have tons of lingerie of like Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and weird, like, stuff you would never think to make a lingerie. So this Pokemon lingerie, while being weird, is not that weird. It's not like it's that far off from being like Batman underwear.
Well, that doesn't seem as weird to me.
Why? Why does that not seem as weird to you, but
because
this does?
At least they're humans. They're meant to be, like, this is something comic books have done for a long time, is they're meant to be sexualized. Maybe not in that form, but it's sort of, that was part of the purpose, was to seem sexually appealing. That was not part of Pikachu's purpose, as far as I'm aware.
Right.
As far as I'm aware, Pikachu's only purpose was to entice, 9 and 10-year-olds into getting into the franchise. I don't think this is what's doing it.
But it's not like they made a Pikachu sex toy. They just made underwear with Pikachu on it.
At this rate, give them time. They'll do it.
I mean, maybe, because for some reason they're having a mental breakdown at the Pokemon Company, but...
They're losing their damn minds.
But, like, this really isn't that weird if you really think about it. I wish, like... people would write in so that way I could ask, is this that weird? And get, like, some sort of poll.
Maybe I'm just a prude who's not into, the hip new things that all you kids are looking at now, but I don't know.
I think just living in a world that we live in where there's, like, weird stuff like this all the time, like weird underwear kind of things, like, it doesn't bother me that much. Like, I'm sure you can find, like, an underwear with, like, I don't know, what's a kid show people like Adventure Time, or... what's the other one that people like? Steven Universe. The Powerpuff Girls are back. Maybe there's underwear with them on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like...
Maybe child's underwear, sure. But that's not... Maybe that's why this weirds me out.
Also, this doesn't look like lingerie. Like, I think lingerie is the wrong way to put it. Like, this just looks like underwear.
Yeah, this is just straight up... Oh, there is a bikini, too, by the way, in case...
Is that what that weird thing is that's, like, all...
Yeah, that's what the bottom... I'll put a link to the article in the video description below, the episode description, so you guys can see what the hell we're talking about.
That girl in the middle has gigantic eyes. Like, she has, like, anime eyes.
Yeah, they're huge.
That
weirds me out. There's, like, 16 Pikachus that are... Oh, this weirds me the hell out.
Alright, that last one that... I'm gonna assume the bottom one is the bikini. Like, that one's weird because it's just, like, a lot of... It looks like they just took... Like,
they just sewed a bunch of Pikachus to a bra.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like they took like a bunch of plushies, took out the plush stuff inside, and then just sewed it to the bra and panties. Like, that's weird. The other stuff, though, the regular underwear that just has like his face on it and stuff, like, not that bad.
Oh, the Pokeball's a laundry pouch.
Oh, yeah.
But
laundry pouch.
Yeah, these wonderful items of clothing go on sale in Japan only, unfortunately, next Wednesday. So, if you want to import them, they're available next Wednesday.
Yen always screws me up because it says like 5,480, and I just remember that like their money is like, I guess, less valuable than ours technically.
Yeah, they're it's essentially just, I think it's like multiplied by like 1,000, and it's equivalent. It's something weird like that. I don't entirely remember the thing, but anyway, we're running long here, so we should probably hurry up here, and we're gonna get into the new segment of the show
that Brad created himself for his part of the show.
Yes, and it's called the QuickTime Question. Alright, so welcome to the QuickTime Question. The way this works is every week I'm gonna ask Jacob some sort of video game trivia. It could be in the form of a quiz, in the form of just a normal question, or in the form of a game. I'm going to change it up week to week to keep Jacob on his toes. But the same thing is going to be true from week to week, and that it's going to be video game related, and hopefully I'm going to be able to stump Jacob.
Okay. So
for this week, I have a user-created quiz that I think Jacob is going to like. I almost called you Jacob. So this quiz, Jacob, I'm going to give you 4 minutes, and you have 2 pauses, and there are 11 questions. I'm going to give you a quote from a video game, and you have to tell me what video game it's from.
How many quotes do I have to guess?
There are 11.
Okay.
And if you pause, I will read you the question that you're on, but I will not go back or go forward.
Can I skip?
You can skip.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. The 4 minutes will begin as soon as I read the first one. And go. Flawless victory.
Oh, that's Mortal Kombat.
Correct. Tiger uppercut.
Street Fighter?
Correct. Our princess is in another castle.
Mario.
Correct. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Zelda.
Yep. He's heating up. He's on fire.
NBA Jam.
Yes. The cake is a lie.
Portal.
Yes. Do a barrel roll.
Star Fox.
Yes. You have died of dysentery.
Oregon Trail.
Yes. It's super effective.
Oh shit, what is that from? Skip.
I used to be an adventurer like you, and then I took an arrow to the knee.
Skyrim.
Yes. Watch his bull charge. Stand up to him.
Watch his bull charge, stand up to him. Skip.
Alright, so those are the only two you have left. 3 minutes
really?
remaining. Yep. Super effective, and watch his bull charge. Stand up to him.
Super effective. It's probably from like a... Oh, it's a Pokemon.
Yep. Alright.
Watch his bull charge, stand up to him.
2 minutes, 50 seconds. You got plenty of time on this one.
This one's hard, though. What's a game with like a bull in it, or like an animal sort of thing? Is it Animal Crossing?
Nope.
Okay, I didn't think it would be that anyway. Watch his bull charge, stand up to it. Do I get like hints or anything, or do I just sit here and flounder until I...
I can give you a hint.
Alright.
It's sports related.
Is it NFL Blitz?
Nope.
Ugh. So it's sports related.
Yes. 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Bull charge, stand up to him. Bull charge, stands up to him. Sports related. Oh my, wait. Is it Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
Yes.
Yes.
And you finished the quiz with 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. I have a bonus one if you want to try that one.
Yeah, I want to try it. Is it hard?
It is. I don't know if you'll get this one.
Alright.
Alright, so the bonus one is Zug Zug.
Yeah, I don't know this one. I'm not even going to try.
It is the sound the peons make in Warcraft.
I never played regular Warcraft. I've only played World of Warcraft.
Which is why I made that one a bonus, because I didn't think you played the game.
Okay, thank you.
I only put in the ones that I thought you would know. But Jacob, you won this week, and you finished it with in just about half the time you needed.
Unlike the first week when you played my game,
Yes.
I finished this one.
Well, I bumped the time up. Originally, they'd only given you 1 minute 30 seconds to do this, but I thought that was too little time, so I bumped it up to 4 minutes. But I'll learn for next week. Looks like you need less time.
Ooh.
But
Read me
Jacob,
the spiel.
Alright, so let's move on to the spiel. So if you want to get in touch with us, maybe send us your opinions on Pokemon lingerie, you can do that at completewithdoc@gmail.com. That is going to be the best way to get in touch with us, the fastest way. But if you don't want to email us, say email is for squares, you can go to the social medias. We are Complete with DOC on Twitter. That is where Jacob puts out all the information about the new episodes that go up, or anytime Jacob or I are doing something interesting, which is not very often. We're very boring people.
Yes, we are.
If you're listening to this, you're probably listening to it on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or YouTube, and that's where all the episodes are available. The RSS feed is hosted on SoundCloud, so if you want to get it direct off the line, fresh from the source, what do they call it? Hot off the presses. That is going to be the best way to do that.
That's how J. Jonah Jameson would say it.
Yes. Get me pictures of Jacob. Don't.
Get me pictures of Complete with DLC.
Exactly. I can't believe he's Commissioner Gordon now. Anyway.
Bothers me.
Yeah. So, that is the best way to get in touch with all of the show's information. But Jacob, if they want to get in touch with you alone, maybe have a very in-deep, quantified discussion.
In deep,
about,
you mean
yes,
in depth?
In depth. Listen, I'm having a bad day, okay? They want to talk to you about Pokemon lingerie. Where can they do it?
They can find me on any sort of social media. Twitter would probably be the best one, though. At itsjgriff, ITSJOYGRIFF. By the way, too, fun fact, did you know that on the animated series Ultimate Spider-Man, which is the one that's on right now, J.K. Simmons voices J. Jonah Jameson on that? I didn't know that until the other day.
That's awesome.
Brad, where can they find you?
If you want to find me, you can do that on Twitter. I'm Calgny on Twitter, KALGNE. But if you don't want to use Twitter, or if you're not confident in my ability to use a social media site, which you'd probably be correct, the best way to get in touch with me is going to be on Battle.net. I am Brad1261 on Battle.net. Hashtag 1261. Still don't know if you have to add it in or not. One day I'll figure it out. If you do message me on Battle.net, let me know that you're a listener to the show so I can make a note accordingly and I don't accidentally delete you. Other than that, just email the show if you don't want to use either of those two, and just direct the question at me or Jacob, and I'll make sure that it gets to the right people. But I believe that's it.
We did it.
I think that's the show, Jacob.
Wait, you gotta do your music recommendation.
Oh, I forget this every week. Thank God Jacob's here. Otherwise, I would never remember. All right, so this week, I'm going to recommend... Where is he? There he is. Kyle Landry. He's a pianist who was big on Twitch for a while. I don't know if he still does Twitch streams of his piano, but he's on YouTube, I know that. And he does a lot of improv, a lot of custom music, and some covers as well. A lot of video game type stuff. So if you're into that kind of thing, or you just like listening to some background music of piano, he's going to be the guy you're going to want to listen to.
And my music recommendation of the week, and this is an actual one because I actually really like this album. There's this band from the 1980s named The Stranglers. I recently discovered them. They're a new wave post-punk punk rock band, and their album Oral Sculpture is very good. I initially listened to it because there's a song off it called Let Me Down Easy, which was the opening credit song for Hardcore Henry, and I remember really liking that song when I saw the movie. So I started listening to that song, and then it made me listen to the whole album, and it's very good. So you should all go listen to that.
Wow, Jacob had a serious recommendation this week.
I know, it wasn't something dumb like last week when I recommended I Love Kanye.
Yes. Thank God. But this has been a full show, and we're still a little longer than I would like, but that's fine. Yeah. But this has been Complete with DLC. I'm Brad Knight.
I'm Jacob Griffin.
And thank you for listening.
That still sounds odd.
It does. I'm one of your hosts, Brad Knight, and sitting across from me is... I didn't come up with a name with you again.
I'm drinking OJ. You can do something about that.
Damn it. Alright, well, we have an outtake now. Hello and welcome to Complete with DLC, the only show opening a publishing firm. I said opening again. I swear to God, I think I'm drunk. Ah, damn it.